In Papua New Guinea, more than 2,500 villagers who live along the Sepik River have filed a human rights complaint with the Australian government over a massive gold and copper mine planned for the region. They've accused the Australian-based Chinese-owned company behind the proposal of failing to gain their consent. PNG correspondent Natalie Whiting reports.
Villagers from along the Sepik River have already staged 2 large gatherings to voice their opposition to a nearby mine proposal. And now, more than 2,500 people have signed a complaint that's been filed with the Australian government.
We wanted to give voice to the resistance that was already there.
Emmanuel Penny is a coordinator for local group Project Sepik.
Our work reflects the energy and the spirit of the people along the river itself and all the life forms. It also reflects the concerns raised by many Papua New Guineans who witnessed extractive projects which have been destructive to the environment and exploitative to the people.
The Sepik River gold and copper mine proposal from the Australian-based Chinese-owned company PNG includes a plan for an open-pit mine and hydroelectric project. It's yet to get the green light from the Papua New Guinean government. Downstream from the mine site, communities along the Sepik River are particularly concerned about a possible tailings dam and the risk of it breaking. Project Sepik has had volunteers travelling up the river, stopping village by village to collect names for the complaint that's been filed through a little-known mechanism called the Australian National Contact Point. It's a division of Treasury that has the power to investigate if Australian-based companies operating overseas are meeting business standards set down by the OECD. Project Sepik is being supported by an advocacy group, Jubilee Australia. Luke Fletcher is the executive director.
There are 2 main areas of concern that the complaint focuses on. The first relates to the question of what's known as free, prior and informed consent, and it argues that the downstream communities, consent of those communities has not been granted. The second part of the complaint focuses on the environmental risks to the Sepik River region. After a project gets its approval, it's virtually impossible to stop.
In a statement, PNG says it respects and is complying with legislative processes regarding mining project approvals in PNG, and says it has and will continue to work with the PNG government to ensure all legislative requirements during the permitting phase of the project are followed. Emmanuel Penny says opposition from the Sepik villagers will continue.
While it is my home, that I live along that river and I swim in it, and that's where my ancestors were buried. I think in today's world now, given what we're going through with the climate crisis, I think we should all look at the river as a world river, and that we all should work to protect our pristine and intact ecosystems that are left.
PNG recently met with some local officials for the first time this year after a hiatus caused by COVID-19.
Natalie Whiting reporting there.